Oh my goodness, we're streaming live. Live right now. Live for everyone to see. Gonna do a little Space Engineers today. Why, you may ask? Well, it's a good question. Mainly because I started on a little project today and I thought this would be a good opportunity to show off. Yes, digging in the dirt is a hell of a thing. Let me just show you the list of mods I have going. Because obviously I hate myself and freedom. Yeah, Skybox, custom Skybox, custom respawn shuttle, because it's very, very attractive. Some gestures, new cockpit, some hydroponics, some more skins, letters, because sometimes you want to put letters on the side of your ship. More gestures, some stairs that are one block. Yeah, another cockpit, which I haven't used yet, I'm looking forward to. Small button panels, larger solar cells, all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, it's a mod heavy sort of thing because I love mods. Yeah. Also, we're not running asteroids because screw those hippies. So let's load this up and show you what we're working on today, because that's what we need to do right now. Must do right now. In fact, yeah, if only it played a little something while you're waiting. Maybe the girl from Panema. That would be appropriate, I think, and I would not object. Space Engineers, everybody. Oh, you're coming in. Welcome to the Hellpit. Yeah, I know, it's I'm using a very, very boring skin right now. It's just for the moment. As you can see, we have a very straightforward platform here. This is actually my first platform. Little gravity generator. Little main storage capacity, little battery backup, because that's the way we go. Little solar cell action. And, yeah, let's see, up here we've got our ship spires. I don't dock things traditionally, I use little connectors. So, we have a few ships, one of which is devoted to mining, welding, because you need to. One of which is for cutting ships apart, you need light for that. And one of which was my first mining ship, with one of the custom cockpits, which is just, it's gorgeous. I love that. But, that wasn't big enough. And we'll talk about that in a second. Here's the power system over here. Actually, the main power system is hanging underneath there. That's right, it's a large reactor. And it's piped to everything else, so that's cool. I have these solar cells here, and you'll notice one's at 3, one's at 2, and one's at 4. Why is that? Well, let's look underneath here. Alright, so what we have here is... oh, shit. There's a huge shadow across it. It was worse a minute ago, because the shadow has been cast by that. That's an asteroid. Yeah, the asteroid's in my way. It's blocking the sun. You can see I've already started on it with something exciting. That's right, this is the Leonov. So named by Eric the Half-B. It's got a little dinged up because that's what happens. Yeah, that's a number of cutting faces on there. That's a hell of a thing. Over here we have some other stuff. It's actually got 3 batteries as its core power system, which is fantastic. It's got a large storage box in there. Not that it ever gets involved. And I hate stone. I really do. So I'm sort of just shooting out the cloaca, as it were, for the ship. And you know what? This is probably not the largest ship I could craft, but it's a good start. It's a good start. So let's hop in there and start it up. Let's pull up our heads-up display. You'll see I've got all sorts of things on the command. There we go. Engines on, gyros on, and we want to take out that part over there. Now, I also have voice attack configured. Start listening. Start listening. That little Chong said that it was. And you can do fun things with it, like toggle view.
View unlocked.
That's right. Told me that my view is unlocked. That's good. I'm going to turn on the front end here. It's a little bit loud. And then we're going to turn up the engines a little bit at a time. See, when I'm not manually controlling it, we do pretty steady work. And it will cut right through the middle of an asteroid, as you can see. And that's pretty much what it's doing. I really just want this thing out of my way. It's blocking my view. I don't like that. It ticks me off. So we're just going to cut through it. Oh, look, I lost a cutting head somewhere. Must have been some torque from something. Oh, looks like I've lost a couple of them. That's not good. What the hell? Let's cut down the thrust a little bit. I don't know where that happened, or how that happened. Sometimes that happens. I'm not sure why. Interesting discovery from constructing this thing is that really you get some strange stuff. Like you take damage in parts of the ship that you probably ought not to. You get some weird torque as stuff brushes along. I really need to come up with some sort of harder external bit, which means it probably needs heavy stuff, and that's just going to be a pain in the butt. Alright, and it looks like we're through. Toggle view.
View locked.
Alright, and we'll just sort of cut back the engines here. Just cut those off. Well, come on. Mostly off. Toggle view.
View unlocked.
How the hell did we lose a whole bunch of... I'll have to build some new ones. That's it. It's obviously there's going to have to be some fixing here. But toggle view.
View locked.
But that's another time. You don't want to watch that. So basically, that asteroid right there, pissing me off. I'm going to have to do something about it. I think that's better, though. It may be somewhat better. I may have to go in with the smaller one, do some work. You can see that I'm carefully pointing my cloaca away from the rest of the space station because we have gravitational field. Oh, and it looks like we're in it. Now, I'd like to come into dock, but see, the problem is I don't want to drop all this freaking stone on thing. Let's see what we got here. So we got 604,000 tons of stone, and you know what? It just wouldn't do any good for me to jump out and manually throw it in there or throw it out because it just won't. It's 80,000 liters of stone. It's really kind of ridiculous. So we'll just let that. We'll go. We'll just turn off the engines, which will leave plenty of battery power for other stuff. Let's take a look at what's happened here. Man, that's pretty ugly. I'm not sure how that happened. I really am not sure how that happened. Sometimes the mining is a little strange. Like, how did we lose these things? I don't know. Didn't give me any feedback. Didn't let me know. I didn't even hear an explosion. Some sort of other... I may need a more efficient mining vessel. I'm not exactly sure what I'd do for a more efficient mining vessel, but I have to come up with something. Some of you might be thinking, well, obviously, Squidlord, the problem is that your output from your reverse engines is going right through there. And yeah, well, that would be true if there was a block in front of that, but I don't think the small large ship engines are prone to that level of blast, and it wouldn't have affected that. I don't know. Up here you can see there's some more damage. I'll just weld that up. The other thing that you're seeing right now is the 64-bit textures that got put in there from the last patch, and they are quite beautiful. Not gonna lie, I really... the texturing isn't even important in a game that's in an alpha like this. I mean, it just isn't. It just isn't. The fact that it is so good is just a good thing. I mean, it's just the step further that they didn't have to do that that still gratifies me. What the hell, man? Look at this. Look at this. How did this all get all damaged like this? This isn't even behind the cutting head. I mean, it's behind the cutting heads. It's not in an area where they would get hit. The cutting heads have more space. I don't know. Maybe I need to replace that with heavy iron, or heavy armor, or some other solution. Some things seem to take damage a lot more readily than other things, which is strange. Yeah, it's mostly the front end. There seem to be a couple spots here on the back end that need some dents banged out of them. I could use the welding craft for this, but frankly, it's just as easy to make a visual inspection with my character and just sort of give it time to throw that stone out the back. Anyway, look at this. It's like the back end is pretty pristine. Let's go down to the cloaca area and see. Oh, it stopped. Oh no, it didn't. It's just on the other side. See? Space, man. Space is a problem. Space is a problem because visual references to, you know, where you're at, what you're doing, they are hard to catch. And yeah, that's just an endless fall of stone. Hopefully that will be done soon. Let's see if we can sneak under here close enough to get our hand in there. I feel like I'm sticking my hand in like in a birthing cow. It's like, oh yeah, let me just reach up in there. Yep. Why did it stop? It stopped. Control panel. Select connector. Throw out is on. Alright. That's weird. It just doesn't like me talking about it like it's a cow, I suppose. Alright, now how did this get damaged? How did this get damaged? It's like behind everything. It's just no reason. No reason for the area near the beacon to get damaged. What the hell? And really damaged because I just saw it bent out of true over there. What the hell? What up? I don't even. So yeah, we'll double check the output. Let's go up to the cockpit. The cockpit is in a lovely position. I was actually just sort of put this together from the outputs back. Alright, it's showing that it should be. Oh, it's in the cargo. Here, put it in the connector, guys. There we go. Now it should be shooting out the bottom. Again, very cloaca-like. So, yeah, there it goes. So, I guess I could rough in, while you guys are here with me, you know, it could happen. While you guys are here, I will go ahead and rough in the replacement stuff. I should have enough bits, and then I can make more bits. We'll just drop that there. Nope, wrong color. Thankfully, I have the Leonov's color over here. Yeah, I need steel plates to build it. What do you mean I don't have any steel plates? I must have used them all. Fine. That's okay. Let's just go jetting over here. Cleverly, I put a small cargo container up here just as an access point, frankly. Let's see, do we have any steel plates? No, I don't think we do, actually. Oh. No. Oh, I do have some steel plates. They're all in the forge. I'll just take all those. Put them back when I'm done. I usually use the welding ship for pretty much everything, so it's not a surprise that everything would be, that it would be full of steel plates. But it's a little irritating. Okay, good God, look at that. That's crazy. How did I lose those? Seriously, there's no reason those should have been lost. I would probably, in most cases, go ahead and put these together. You know, if I was on my own time, I would go ahead and start the construction for that. I'll probably have to make the parts for them, but honestly, the part that takes the longest are the construction components. Construction components just take a stupid amount of time to make, truly stupid. And yes, I know there's some mods that change the construction time from components. I know it. It's okay. It's not a surprise. Hey, I think we're missing a block there. Oh ho! Group 3. Group 3. There we go. Voice tack does require you to sometimes just group one. Group one. To not be talking for a second before it recognizes that you are talking to it, which makes sense. It's 250 milliseconds. That's adjustable. Just haven't. Yeah. All right. So that's the array. I'm not sure why those are just not. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I can fix that up in a little bit. I just thought you guys might be interested in seeing what I'm doing with Space Engineers, because Space Engineers is just ridiculous fun. It's just more fun than it's just hard to imagine how much fun it is. I am at this point waiting for a modder to figure out how to make multi-block machines of the kind that we found in Minecraft a lot. The kind that just sort of involve, you know, you put together 8 or 10 blocks of stuff and it suddenly welds into a single machine and it's just awesome. Yeah, that's the stuff I want to play with. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see, how's our shadow coming? Well, it's better than it was. I want to destroy those. I want to destroy that. Let me go take the stone cutter. Let's see here. Everything has its own. Oh, how did that happen? The stone guzzler's control blocks are out of. Let's unlock it first. So I don't see the rest of the station stuff. Let's see. I want to put gyros. I want to toggle those on and off. I want thrusters, toggle on and off. Those are always good to be able to turn those off if you're just sitting. And ship. Alright, 5, 6, 7. That's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so battery up, gyros up, thrusters up, and you have to usually snap it off of a connector. Those things have a lot of pull, which is a hell of a thing. So you really sometimes have to just get a little crazy with them before you can actually give them positioned like you want. Alright, we're going to just start with this. This is a much slower process. I'm just going to say, the small ship drills, not nearly as fast. And you can't just sort of point them and go, which is a bit of a problem. It's the world changes when you go from small ship equipment to large ship equipment in terms of resourcing. It really changes. It's been said before that in Minecraft, the game starts as hard as it will ever be because you have nothing. And as you develop your tools and your facilities and your machines, the game becomes easier and easier up until the point at which you are literally making your own decisions about what you want to do based on purely what you enjoy, what you want to explore, where you're going to go with it. And I don't think that's not true. I believe that is completely true. There is no question in my mind that that's not true. Like our connector is that. Let me turn that off. I want to turn the connector to throw out, because there's no reason for us to be holding on to this crap. So yeah, I believe that's absolutely true of Minecraft, and it's one of the reasons that some of the more complicated mods are so popular, like Ars Magica and Thaumcraft and the Forestry mod, which is all about farming and building interconnected systems, because those, it's not about challenge at that point. It's about what can I do? What can I make this do? How can I explore what this is to me? And I think that's probably one of the best things about it. I don't think anybody... there are people who are looking for crazy challenge in all of their gaming. They're looking for, oh, well, it needs to be hard. I need to be able to fail at, just playing the game. I need to be able to fail to get to play the game. And I object to that. I think that's wrong-headed. I think that's self-destructive in terms of making a game that people will want to play and people that will actively play. And you'll see a lot of that play a lot. You'll even see it reflected in the Space Engineers forums quite a lot. People, particularly who are asking for more survival things like, oh no, it needs to be harder. We need water and food and stuff. How can it be survival if all your suit needs is power and and that keeps you alive? And it's like, yeah, well, there's a problem with that. How would you play the game? How would you even start the game if you need to produce water and food and all these other things, 8 or 10 things, whatever, even just water and food, and pressure, air pressure? How would you start the game? How do you foresee the game starting? Either you have a ship that provides you these things, and really it just reduces back to the same situation as we have now, which is basically you need to find the resources, and when you find the resources, it's that's what you need, and then you just make what you need. Or you don't have the resources, and unless you get lucky and find them straight out, you're dead. You don't get to play the game. The game is not for you to get played. I don't like that. I think game design that depends on you not getting to play the game is essentially flawed. It's essentially broken. And you can see that kind of game design theory in a lot of things. In particular, in not just in video games, in actual tabletop gaming as well. People who insist on first level D&D characters having the survivability of wet tissue, for instance. It's like, oh yeah, you probably won't survive your first contact with the enemy. You won't survive the first conflict. Really? So the best thing about this game is that it is impossible to play, that it will not allow me to play it? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think that's terrible. But they insist on it. It's what they want. And I don't know. It seems to be a thing with a certain segment of gamers. I know what it is. If you're familiar with ludology and the analysis of games, it's people who want to exhibit mastery, by proxy, which is fine. I mean, there's an element of that in all games. Hey, I know all the recipes in Unturned. Hey, I know how to clear out the entire military base in Unturned with an axe. Yeah, okay, you've demonstrated mastery, and that gives you a degree of gratification. I'm down with that. I understand it. I don't object to that per se. But what I do object to is the idea that needs to be the only tenable gameplay style. The only gameplay mode that is acceptable for all games. And that all survival games should be all about, oh my god, how did I even start? I have to start 30 times just to get the right lucky chance of, right combination of factors. Oh, and it needs to be incredibly hard for the rest of the game too, and every moment needs to be... You know what? I don't need that. I've got life for that. Seriously, guys, you got life for that. I understand that mitigation of risk and being able to take risk in safe spaces is one of the elements of play. That's why we play games like Space Engineers and Minecraft and it's 7 Days to Die and Rust and a whole lot of other games that are all about survival and that kind of challenge. I get that. I get it. Don't think I don't. I totally get it. I understand it. But on the other hand, I just don't. It's not the only gameplay. It's not the only game style. It's not the only thing to want. And that's That's difficult for some people to wrap their heads around. That's very sad. Alright, so we're almost done taking out this top bit of the asteroid with our small ship, which is kind of amazing. I didn't realize I had that much to say, guys. If you like that sort of thing, if you like to hear me going on about game theory and about game design and that sort of thing, that's one of the things I've devoted my life to. As sad as that is to say, as much as that makes me sound like a terribly, terribly wasted life person, you know, I love to talk about game theory. I love to talk about game design and what's important and what people say they like in terms of expressed interest versus what they actually like in terms of what they actually play and what they seek. You know, everybody will tell you Call of Duty, all that game's shit. Oh, it's terrible. It's full of bros. It's a bro shooter. Well, yeah, and apparently there are a lot of bros with disposable income who want to play it all day long and have the reflexes of a 14-year-old, which is what I don't have anymore, being a long, long, long way from 14. But no, you can't just express the idea that is, oh, it's terrible because it exists, and people shouldn't like that. Anytime I see someone say people shouldn't like that about a game, or a game context, or a style of game, I know that they aren't worth listening to. And yeah, that's strong phrasing. I know they're not worth listening to, because they've already told me what I can and can't like. And usually in direct opposition to, well, what we know people like, because they obviously like that, or they wouldn't be complaining about it. There would be nothing for them to complain about if people didn't like that and embrace it. So it's an immediate indicator that, oh, you shouldn't like that, you shouldn't want that. Well, no, I don't need people to tell me what I should and shouldn't want. I don't need people to tell me what I should and shouldn't like. I like what I like. I want what I want. And you don't get to tell me. Or, you know what? I'll ask you. If I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. That's pretty much how it goes. So, let's see how we got going on here. I feel pretty good. You notice we've got... This ship is actually run on one small battery. One small ship battery. And it has 2 hours of power even without the drills on and without active maneuvering. Which is awesome, by the way. Batteries are one of the best things to get added to this game. Really? What is... Oh. That little pinnacle is still sticking out. I don't think I'll make you guys watch me grind that down. Batteries are one of the greatest things to get added to this game ever. They really are. They really are. Alright, so let's see how we're doing on stone. We got 19,000 stone in our guts. This is going to take a while. So I just wanted to show off the Hellpit, folks, and talk a little bit about games and gameplay and what we do and why I enjoy it, and just sort of hang out with you, spend some time with you. So if you like this, let me know. Share with me that you enjoyed it, and maybe we can do some more of it. That's what I'm looking forward to. And you know what? That's a wonderful thing. So until then, let's look at the inside of this cockpit because it's beautiful. Until then, I'm the Squid Lord, and you've been watching REALPLAY. Space Engineers. Damn asteroid was in my way. Until next time, folks, have a good time, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Hint, that's a very short list. Good night, everybody.